Okay, good afternoon. It's Comm Cafe, and it is the place where we hang out with entrepreneurs, small business owners. We talk about mindset, personal development, professional development, and I bring on people from my network, people that I've met either in person or in this case, I've just met them online, and they have their expertise, I have mine, and we share it with my listeners. So, hey, good afternoon, Robert Hollis. How are you today?
Wonderful, blessed and highly favored. Thank you, Dwayne.
All right, now let me do the proper introduction. So, Mr. Robert Hollis, he's an author. I know I got a copy of your book twice now, so I'm going to read the second copy. You're a speaker, a coach, mentor. We're going to play with this one. It'll be fun. A retired network marketer. You know, most people get into network marketing after they retire or to retire. You retired from that business.
Correct.
And you fit into my category of truly a lifestyle entrepreneur. So welcome to Comm Cafe.
Thank you very much. I love to share anything I can with your listeners. So thank you.
All right. Let's start off the top. It's a long story. So maybe a quick version of how you got from. I know there's a story like when you're way back when you were 18, you were an auto mechanic.
Yeah.
So you went from auto mechanic to life mechanic. And it's in between, those are the two ends, kind of.
Right.
But maybe feeling a little bit about
Sure.
your network marketing experience.
Well, I tell everybody usually change happens in your life because of two things, either desperation or inspiration. For me, it was desperation. And so what happened is here I'm doing just exactly what I was told to do, go out, get an education. I'm dyslexic. I learned in school that I was special. Now I know for a fact I am.
You're good though.
Yeah, and so what ended up happening is someone told me, and it's neat that you become who you hang around. I had someone that told me that I was good with my hands, that so I built fixed bicycles, snowmobiles, whatever. And so that's where if I'm good at something and someone told me I was good at something, I'm going to be a mechanic. And so here I am, a mechanic, and I end up being at the wrong place at the wrong time. I get hurt at the job, and I have a guy with a jacket on that's a doctor that said, listen, you're not going to be a mechanic ever again. So now I try to figure out, wow, what else do I do? What can I do? And it got bad. I was making $900 a month, used to be living, struggling on $3,000 a month. And all of a sudden, I pawned everything that I can pawn. I don't have any family I can rely on. Get a 10-day pay or quit notice. And, I just really just on a spiritual level just said, man, I just need help. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I had a friend introduce me to a guy that ended up being my mentor in my book. And he just looked at me straight in the face and said, listen, I used to install car stereos. You can do this. So that was the second time in my life that I had someone that looked at me and said, you can do this. And I'm going, serious? And he goes, of course you can. And I just 100% faith jumped in it. And that was in the network marketing industry. It'll be 30 years this November that I got introduced to him. And just following a proven plan, just a total proven plan, I did exactly what he told me, 100% coachable. And, I made $10,210 my very first 45 days with him. Made $258,000 my first year and $1 million before I was 30. And so it really took off because I'm a guy that's coachable. If someone else has already produced results, I'm just going to do exactly what they told me to do. And I even do it in sort of a brash way, Dwayne. I told him, you tell me what to do, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to hunt you down. So it was like, and so it worked. It really worked. And so moving really forward ahead, I spent over 25 years in the network marketing industry, made over $52 million in earnings. But the biggest claim to fame is I've helped 51 people make over $1 million in a year. And 9 of them now own their own network marketing companies. Some of them doing $700 million a year. So now my whole thing is that I wanted to teach my sons. My eldest son, 35, has made over $1 million before he's 30. Now I'm working with my 25-year-old. And I wanted to get in a different arena. So I went from auto mechanic to life mechanic, being a coach and teaching people how to build a successful online business. And so my son and I did that, was it February of 2016? And that company now has generated millions of dollars and helped a lot of people learn how to be able to take their passion and turn it into profit. So went from auto mechanic to life mechanic. So here we are today.
Here we are today. All right. Thank you. And you did it so much better than me. So and concise. It was a really. I know you're good. You're good at telling that story. All right. You hit on one key attribute for where is coachable.
Yes.
What would you say and we're talking about mindset, mindset for success. I don't care if it's network marketing, in business in general. We got the mindset for success. Coachable. Yeah. What would you say the number one, like the first attribute? Like, is it coachable? What's at the top?
The very first attribute for me is that coachable aspect. Most people, like me, probably don't even know what the word mentor means. They got their names out there: mentor, coach, teacher, instructor. And a lot of times, Dwayne, people reach out to me all the time and they're saying, well, I'm looking for a company, or I'm looking for something that I want to market, or, a product or whatever. And I tell people that's like you and I, Dwayne, going out looking for airplanes to buy when you're not a pilot. And if you look at anything else that you've done in your life, Dwayne, from getting your driver's license to getting married, having children, being in the finance industry, you looked at other people that were doing that and you went, wow, if that person can drive a car, I can drive a car. And then you found out what to do. And guess what? Here in the United States, I know you're in Canada. Here in the United States, guess what? You got to take a test to get your permit. There's no other path. So you study, you get your test. The next thing you got to do is, just like pilot's license, you got to put in 40 hours of driving with a certified instructor. You see what I mean? So now you got to put in 40 hours of driving, and 10 of that being at night, a few hours being on a freeway before you get to take your driving test and get your driver's license. See what I mean? If entrepreneurship was that way, the success rate would be so high, just like franchising, Dwayne. So if you buy a franchise like a Subway sandwich shop or a McDonald's, you come up with the money, you put $250,000 down, you sign a contract to follow their instructions. If you buy a McDonald's, you got to go to Hamburger University. That is you get credits just like a college. So isn't that neat that a franchise doesn't want, oh, by the way, that corner there used to be a Subway. Oh, in that corner there used to be a McDonald's. No, that McDonald's has been there for frickin' years. So don't you find it interesting that when you buy a franchise, if you don't follow the rules, if you don't follow the instructions, people don't wake up one day and go, I'd rather make the arches, green arches. No, you'll lose your franchise. So follow the rules and do what we tell you. And network marketing, our home-based businesses, people do not look for an instructor. So everyone's smart enough to go, I want to be a pilot. I want to fly a plane. Great. Find a pilot instructor. I would suggest that you ask him how many people he's helped get their license. Well, I've been doing this for 22 years. I've taught thousands of people to get their pilot's license. Wow, you sound like my guy, Dwayne. I want to become a pilot. So now if you put in and do what he tells you to do, and he's helped other people do it, you fly the hours. Now you got your private license. Now you do your solos. And how do you go from there to a 747? More hours, better instructors. More hours, better instructors. You want to go from one propeller to two? Different instructor. You want to go to 2 propellers to a jet? Different instructor. You want to fly 20 passengers, 100 passengers? Different instructor. You want to fly international? Different instructor. And so to me, I'm analytical. I tell people I'm a geek from the dork forest. For me, if I want to find a way to do something, find someone that's taught other people to be successful at that, and find that coach and follow their path. They wouldn't have a career if you don't walk up to drive-in instructors like in network marketing. You don't walk up and say, hey, how many people have you helped to get to a full-time income? Are you kidding me? I don't even have a full-time income. So you've taught nobody. No. But tell me what to do. I don't know. Let's do 3-way calls, maybe a home meeting. Does any of this work? I don't know, but let's give it a shot. And that's not done and anything else to wait. Nothing else. If I said to you, hey, I want to get my financial license, my insurance license. Great, Robert. Go down and learn and study and take the test. No, Dwayne, can't you just show me? No, I can't. Isn't that interesting? So I wish that entrepreneurship was that way. But no, we got too many fake people in the world that's saying, I'll show you how to do it. And no one says, can I see your degrees? Can I see your documentation? What documentation? So yes,
Wow.
I tell people, find a instructor that's already proven, people. And so I know you've heard this phrase, documentationbeatsconversation.com. Do you know who came up with that saying and trademarked it?
This guy here.
So if you go to documentationbeatsconversation.com, there it is.
Money.
So,
I like that. I'm just sitting back and I'm just pulling it all in because it's but from personal experience. I'm like, it's like, okay, my buddy, my good friend, like 5 minutes ago, he joined the network marketing company, and his first call is, and then the first call is to call, and we start calling and recruiting people before like we even call to get customers, and they're like, okay, I'll help you, and you're like, what you say makes so much sense that like the individuals like yourself who I'm interviewing are truly mentors. They truly have done it as a business, so I will work with them. I look back and like, no wonder I wasn't successful because I didn't. Partially it was on me. I didn't buy into the completely, but I didn't find a real mentor, like someone actually has a license to be a mentor.
Yeah, and I think it's the network marketing industry's fault, because what they do is they have you sign an application or you sign one online, and here's the word, hey, Dwayne, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And you're going, oh my God, I'm a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. Really? Yeah, just because you signed up for a class to be a financial advisor doesn't make you a financial advisor.
I still gotta do that. I still gotta lift the briefcase. I gotta open. Anyway, that is so cool. All right, so I gotta throw out an idea out there. What I wrote down was, I think we should. I know maybe someone already has done it, but we need a biz test. Like we need a test to, like, hey, come and take our test to see, do you actually have the acumen? Like, do you actually have? We don't have to go to business school. We don't have to spend the 4 years and the $100,000 to get a business degree, but we need to at least know a little bit about business. So let's talk after about adding that to life mechanic. We'll add a whole business school component.
Well, yeah, I tell people all the time. It's my son and I were talking about stuff that we do on marketing, right? And I tell stories in my book about and that book is How Is That Working?
Yeah, let's plug. Let's say what's that? How is that working?
Yeah, and one of the things that I can tell everybody to do here is reach out to Dwayne and connect with him. I'll give him the link so you can get a free downloadable PDF of it. But I need you to contact Dwayne. You don't need to go to me. I'll make sure that Dwayne has this somewhere on here. And one of the things is that I said to one of my mentors, he was my first mentor, Roger Penske, is a multi-billionaire. Again, you'll hear me always talk about documentation based conversation. This guy has won 16 Indianapolis 500s with 10 different drivers. That's documentation.
I've heard that name. I was going to ask you if that was the real, when you said Roger Penske, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've heard Penske Motors.
Yep.
And that's an awesome mentor.
Yeah, that was my first mentor. And he said to me one time when I got hurt, he said to me, Robert, very simply, tell me what you would have did if you didn't get hurt. I said I was going to be one of your crew chiefs. That was my path. And he goes, why do you want to be a crew chief? And I said, I don't know. And he goes, that's not good. That's not, I said, well, I just thought that a mechanic, that would be my next step. So he goes, let me ask her, are you doing it for fame? Are you doing it, because people know crew chiefs? And I said, yeah, that and money. And he goes, Robert, you don't learn a skill and exchange it for money. That's a job. If you want to learn to make money, learn from someone that knows how to make money. Don't exchange a skill and a talent for money. Learn to make money. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? You know what I mean? And he goes, if you want to make money to pay your bills and to buy things and travel and give to charity, You got to learn from someone that knows how to teach people how to make money. I had never heard that in my freaking life, Dwayne. You know what I mean? I was going like, wow. You know,
you mean you didn't go to that school called money? They didn't have that. You didn't have that like you went to grade school. Like you went to public school. You went to, I think you went to school. Like you didn't take that course called money. And
no.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing that we don't have a course called money? Like how to manage, like how to like get out of debt, like how to like cash flow.
They don't even teach you how to balance your checkbook in the United States. It's like.
All right, now we could go on all day. I'm going to jump back to my list of quick things. Now you told me, I said, hey, I'm going to ask you for a favorite quote, just to change it up a little bit. A favorite quote, and you said, actually, I have my own quote. So hey, let's hear like one or two.
Well, what my first favorite quote is: if what you know that you know that you know isn't true, when would you like to know? Because a lot of people will fight you to the death to back their beliefs and thoughts that they have that are doing nothing in their lives. Nothing. So when I tell people, hey, listen, so just an example, the way to make money in the world is get an education, maybe get some certification, and then get a good paying job. What if that's not true? What if that's a way to exist? I love employees. I know some of them will never learn to be a person of value. So when you run into people like Jim Rohn and he says things that, you know, don't work for wages, work for profits. When you start hanging around very wealthy people and they have different ways that they say stuff and you're going like, what do you mean work for profits, not for wages? You know, you get older and you start studying, you get it. The other one that I love saying, and it's not my quote for favorite quote, is you never can use the mindset of where you are and stuck today to get you out of that situation. And I believe that's either Mark Twain or Albert Einstein. But it's like what we do is we're stuck and we're frustrated and we're confused and we're overwhelmed because we don't like what's going on in our life in every area. So we just keep thinking about it and nothing changes. We won't go outside ourselves to find someone to help us with our relationships, help us with our spirituality, help us with finances, help us learn something different. But again, you do it in every other thing. So it's like if all of a sudden, Dwayne, you say, wow, you know, I've always wanted to learn how to speak Chinese. First is the decision. Second is find someone that knows how to teach people how to do Chinese. Next step, learn and practice. So just think about that one thing. If you just sit around and go, I'm so frustrated and upset, I just cannot learn, you know, Japanese. And you go, well, who's your instructor? I don't have one. You got any DVDs from a good instructor? No. How many hours a day or a week do you spend learning Chinese? None. Congratulations. It's like, you know, it's not, what is it? Rocket surgery or brain science or something like that. I don't know.
No, exactly. No, that makes it's so, again, it's like school of logic here. Like I know we're not all logical thinkers, but when you tap into someone who's logical, again, where it's not, we don't have to go to Harvard to understand logic. But all right, now it's okay if you put that book up again. But we talked a little bit at the beginning. So if someone's ready to get into business or thinking about getting into business or about the whole entrepreneurial path, or even venturing down personal development for the first time, what's that first book that you would recommend to someone to craft?
Well, for me, the breakthrough book, and I think you talked about other people that have done this, it's definitely Science of Getting Rich. And for me, what that book did is my mentors gave me that book. And there's two things that I'm going to say here that maybe you haven't heard or maybe some of your other people have said. There's a big difference in reading a book. Second, studying the book. And third, understanding and applying that book. And how you do that is you not only read it and listen to it, but then you take notes. Then what you do is you do your own series on it. So for people that are interested, you can go to lifemechanic.com/gift, GIFT, and I'll give you a whole video series of me doing my version of the Science of Getting Rich. and it's free to your listeners and watchers. And that's me giving back to the world, because a lot of people don't know who Rhonda Byrne is. And Rhonda Byrne is now written up in Time magazine as being one of the top 10 most influential women in the last century. Do you know what she did? She read The Secret. She read The Science of Getting Rich, found other people like Bob Proctor and Jack Canfield, put a movie together called The Secret, and made $300 million. So all she did is promote the same book that I just told you. So when I seen other people promoting that book, like Bob Proctor, Jack Canfield, that's in the Guinness Book of World Records for writing The Chicken Soup of the Soul. I don't know how many. He's got Chicken Soup of the Soul for Dwayne's. You know what I mean? He's really, really smart. But when you look at people like that will promote a book, but they'll understand it. So, people don't know that Bob Proctor was taught by Earl Nightingale and Conant, and they give credit to Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. So I tell people reading a book makes you nothing. Retaining the book is a little better. Studying the book like you would study anything. There's people that will watch this that if I ask you to say the national anthem or the happy birthday song or "Oh Canada," so people are going like, well, why would you know that? Because I was at racetracks and if we were in Canada, they sang Canada national anthem. So you can learn how to do a national anthem. Why can't you learn philosophies and principles out of a book that inspired Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill? Andrew Carnegie wrote, and Andrew Carnegie, the wealthiest person on the planet ever, commissioned Napoleon Hill, a Cub reporter, to interview 500 people to prove that the philosophies and the science of getting rich are true. So that was written 20 years after. So I thought, wow, I'll just duplicate what successful people do. So I put together a video series and started sharing that with the world. Now I have, one of my favorite stories just recently is I have this lady named Par. She's from Thailand, and she used to make $15 a day, working in a manufacturing plant. And now she makes $500 a day in a week by doing nothing but just following the principles that I showed her and the science of getting rich. So she's got her own version, and she's now got people sending her money from PayPal. And it's just that simple.
And we go back to one of the first, so just in case someone missed, right at the very beginning, we talked about it, duplicatable systems. And I know my mentor talks about that with you, is that, hey, you want to learn something that's duplicatable, and then teach the people in your business how to be duplicatable, and therefore duplicate your, put ourselves through.
Gordon So is one of the most incredible people on the planet. Me and him love talking about, because all we're trying to do, and my legacy as being a grandpa, is to make a larger impact faster. So in my legacy, I just want to make more of an impact. In fact, Jim Rohn was one of my mentors, and his dying words to me, that really affected me, that got me to where I am today, is there's 2 times that you die. One is when you take your last breath here on earth. And the second part, which makes me emotional, is when people stop saying your name. So
we're not going to stop. We're going to keep saying Robert Hollis. So all right, I got two last questions. These ones are going to be good ones. You're a big thinker. What gets a lot of your time these days, like today, tomorrow? What are you spending your time thinking about?
Right now, I'm working on the art of fulfillment. It used to be the science of getting rich, the science of achievement. In this day and age, it's really all about the art of fulfillment, being 100% fulfilled. So a lot of the time that I spend today is I have orphanages and schools all over the world. I love giving money and helping people that are already called to that. I'll make sure that they don't have to worry about a dime. And so, there's a lot of ministries that I support now. Art of fulfillment for me is to go opposite of what everybody else is thinking. Instead of tithing 10%, I now tithe 90%. So my wife and my family have an incredible lifestyle. So I got to earn more cash flow to support more ministries. to constantly get there. So my constant goal is to constantly refine with technology and everything that's out there today, a faster, quicker, simple system that allows people to get results immediately. So when they get results, their confidence blooms. Parr calls it where, all of a sudden you're a lily in a pond and you open up and you're now, wow, I can be there. And so when people see, videos now of Parr or Melody or Wanda or all these incredible people, Ryan, that I teach, and, they go from zero to hero. My thoughts now all day, every day, Dwayne, is to compress that. I'm an auto mechanic. So, my deal is to get the lap times quicker. I want to compress that time frames from the time that I meet you, Dwayne, to getting you to believe, find your passion, believe in it, market it, and actually get money in your bank account from that. And so that's what keeps me. I still get up at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, because I can't stop thinking about how to go out and make a bigger impact and a bigger difference.
I love that. Okay. Let's wrap it up with this one. I think this will be good. A little bit different. I know I follow another podcaster, and he uses 3. I'm gonna chop it down to 1. All right. I know you're a father. You have grandchildren as well?
Yes.
All right. What's you talked about that when you're taking that last breath. What's that one thing that you want to be remembered for?
I got a story I'll tell you. That's constantly.
I love stories.
I constantly runs in my mind. I know for those of you that are theology, people with the scriptures and the Bible, I know this is not backed by that. It's just my belief. I just one day will meet my maker. And I just believe, even though there are certain beliefs that say that we've already done what we need to do to go on, I just want him to look at me and say, Robert, with the years that I've given you, why should I let you go on? And I just want hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people that are already there going, let him in. Let that guy in. And I just want to shrug my shoulders and look at my creator, and he says, good work, my son. Good work. So there.
All right, you gave me some goosebumps there. I got some goosebumps. That was really good. Because not that you're gonna live forever, but the fact that you've made a difference, and you've made a difference already, and you're continuing to make a difference, and you're not done yet, because you're just gonna figure out how to make a difference even more efficiently. I love efficiency.
I'm more excited now than I've ever been.
And I can tell you have energy. Okay. All right. Any parting thoughts? Any last thoughts? People can connect with me to get a copy of the book and do the life directions to get this. I know I've heard about that series. I'm gonna like, when we hang up, I'm running over to get my version of the Science of Getting Rich from you, because I love your interpretation of things. I bet it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I just want to tell all your listeners and your watchers here, if no one's ever given you permission in your life to succeed and be fulfilled, let me be the first. My mentor did that to me, and I didn't realize how impactful that is. So I already want you to know that you're enough. You already have the resources that you need to do anything that you want. You just need a little guidance. So I wasn't a pilot until I found a pilot instructor. I wasn't a millionaire until I found a millionaire instructor. I wasn't an auto mechanic until I found someone that taught me how to be a mechanic. So you have everything that you need. You possess everything. You are enough. You are deserving. And I want to give you permission to be fulfilled and successful. So go out and find the mentors and coaches that you need. Do what they tell you to do. Don't overthink it, and do it until you get results, and you'll become another person immediately. So thank you, Dwayne. I really appreciate you allowing me to touch more people in the world. And I really enjoy getting to know you better.
Super. And hey, and I'm sure you're open. We learned to actually make sure we tell people that if someone thinks that you could be that mentor to them, to then reach out, go to the website and connect with you.
Absolutely.
And you're open for business. You're still taking on. You still got a few more people to change their lives. Because some people are like, oh, he wouldn't take me as a client. I'm like, don't assume that.
And it's way less than you think. For people that have absolutely no flipping money, I even put a course together to teach you how to make money so you can afford my other courses.
I know. You're a man of service. So thank you again so much for being on Comm Cafe today. I'm working on some. I'm working on an idea for some coffee mugs. And when I get the coffee, I'll let you know when I can. I'll have to reach out to you, get the address, and send you a Comm Cafe coffee mug.
I will promote it to the world.
That'd be awesome. All right. Thank you again so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Dwayne. God bless.